I am alive. Hey, hey, everybody. Welcome to Sunday evening live at 5. Live at 5. Looking around, figuring out what I want to do next, figuring out what we want to do. I am live. Tell your people that we're on, that I'm here for the week, getting ready to talk about what's coming up this week. YouTube. Getting ready to talk about what the market has to hold for us this week. See if we got some ways we can generate some money. Talk about how last week went. Ooh, I'm going to share some good news. Ain't that good news? I'm going to share some good news about our last week's results. Yepper. Hey, Lady T, how you doing? We're here ready to see what we can see today. Hoping all is well. Hope everybody's having a good restful weekend. You know, the weekend is when we should take a little time to refresh ourselves, get some self-care, take a little bit of a break from the market. They're studying that must happen on the weekends, but I always feel like Friday after the market closes, it's definitely woosah time. And now on Saturdays, I generally will teach. I teach, like this month, I've been teaching Chart Your Way to 100K. That's been every Saturday. So I'm still doing stock related things on Saturday. But even after I finish that, that's from 11 till about 1. It definitely starts at 11. And it goes to maybe 1, maybe a little bit after. But after that, I still try to, take a chill. And then I spend some time on Sunday after I do. Actually, I go to church on Saturday nights because our church has services on Saturday nights and Sunday. I'm not a 7-day Adventist. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying I'm not one. But my church has services on Saturday night and on Sunday. I used to go to Sundays. Now I go to Saturday night. I really enjoy that. So it gives me, I feel like the Saturday night service time gives me the opportunity to have Sundays to do some other things. So I have like the full day. So part of that usually includes sleeping in. Yes, it does include that. It usually includes, it can include some kind of breakfast if we're eating breakfast. It'll include that. And I take a little bit of time before I get back into the full swing of getting ready for stock. Like today, I was actually doing some other things that needed to be done, but generally I will start putting together the graphic that I do for the put credit spreads and call credit spreads. Usually I'll start to do that afterwards. Like in the after I, and sometimes I watch some church on Sundays. Most times I watch church on Sunday. I'll watch some other services that are not local, and then I start getting to the ready to start doing some stock related things. And then by 5 o'clock live, we're here hanging out with y'all by then. Yeah, we're hanging out with 5 o'clock live. Hey, Adrian, how you doing? Hope everybody's kind of getting their mind ready to return to working tomorrow, trading tomorrow, either or. And some people doing it all, like me. I teach, but now when I'm teaching, I don't have the option to have my mind divided. I've done that in the past where I would be teaching, but while I'm teaching the lesson, I'm also looking at the stock chart and looking back and forth at the portfolio. And it's just totally does not make for a good time on either side because the distracted mind doesn't trade very well. But now that we do credit spreads more than anything else, those don't have to be watched anywhere near as closely. So that's, no, I'll say no stress, but it's just, not as much of a thing there anymore. Let's go look at how last week went for us. I'm going to get us on a share screen. Let me get us where we can share the screen. Move this to here. Hey, Deanya, how you doing? I'm good, Lady T. I'm doing well. Let me present and share my screen. Not the screen I want yet. I want this screen on. There we go. Okay, share screen. Pick the right one. That's what we need to do. Click, click, click. There we are. I'm looking at the chart from last week. Of course, this is small. Let's bring it up to we can get some size on it. This was last week's stuff. Yesterday during our class, we spent some time talking about indicators. We did Bollinger Bands, moving averages, the MACD, and the RSI, right? And so I left, out of those things, I left the Bollinger Bands on my chart. So that's what's going on here. These are Bollinger Bands. So SPX from last week, I can actually take these reds off because those were the 15-minute thing for, each day when we're on the morning call, we look at the first 15-minute candle. And once it breaks out of that, we have a whole strategy that goes along with that. So that's why I had those red lines marked. Okay. So if we're looking at last week, this was the last 5 days. We had some upwards. It gapped up and then came back down, still closed higher than the previous day. And then we had basically it gapped up here again and ran up just a little bit, not too much there. I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to make the candles as big as possible so we can see what's going on. And then Friday, this kind of pin bar kind of thing, which this pin bar, anybody in my chat know what this pin bar? Hey, Deborah, this upside down pin bar, what does that mean for us? We've been also studied a couple weeks ago, studied candle patterns and candlesticks. Anybody remember what this little dudio means? If you do, put it in the comments so we can see what's going on with that guy. Okay, you want to see what's going on with that guy. Could be an indication. Hey, Tamar, could be an indication of things to come. And I want to know if anybody remember. Does anybody remember what this means? It's an upside down hammer or a pin bar. And this could be a notification that we may be having a little bit of a turnaround. This longer wick at the top, and a pin bar shows the opening close are very close, which means that there is some indecision. But this long high trying to go up high and wasn't able to, got rejected, means that we're probably going to have reversal. Yes, Deanya. This is going to most likely see some reversal. We never know how far this reversal is going to be, but we do know that it is a potential. All right, that's S&P for the week. And if we're definitely at quote unquote all-time highs or 52-week highs or whatever, and we're just at 4,900. We did bump above that and close a little bit above 4,900. That's one of those psychological numbers that sometimes the stock market gets to the big round numbers, 4,900, 4,950, 4,800. Those big psychological numbers can sometimes cause there's not like any real reason per se, but just those round numbers seem to pause. It's almost like if I get to 48.99, I was like, when you're buying stuff, if you get to you cross over to the next thing, you're like, well, now this 48.99 felt like 48. $49, $49.05. I'm at 49. Right. So that's what's going on with that. That's what's going on with that. Listen, Ooh, I was so excited. Let's get excited. Where's my paper? Where's my little picture? Gotta see my picture so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's give them something to talk about. Where is my thing? It's not there. Oh, I'm showing the screen trying to figure out where I'm going. And I thought I was sharing this screen up here, but I'm sharing the other one. Okay, here we go. I know how to get it done. I know how to get it done. We'll do earnings here in a second. But I wanted to talk about last week's trade ideas. Yes. I didn't really, which is weird. I didn't spend a lot of time looking back to see how did the trade ideas that were given, how do they play out at the end of the week? I started it last week and then I did it again week before last, and I did it again this week. But you see this 19 out of 20 trades that were suggested last Sunday at this time turned out to be profitable and successful trades. Clap it up, clap, 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 clap it up. Woo! This is a 95% success rate. 95% success rate. Come through. The only thing that didn't do well as far as these was the United Airlines. And y'all remember we talked last week about United Airlines had earnings. So if you were going to trade United Airlines, you needed to wait till after the earnings. Yes, y'all see, clap, clap. Look now, 95% success rate. That means any of these trades that you would have picked, success. Excuse me, successful. Yes. Look at that. I was checking off the boxes today and was like, hey. You have to encourage yourself at times, in case you didn't know that. You have to encourage yourself. Okay. So I was excited about that. I'm going to share with you this week's stuff here soon, but let's look at what earnings we got coming up. Ooh, y'all know my darling is having earnings tomorrow morning. So far, love of mine. I can't do the because I've gotten a not a copyright strike, but before I got like you can't do that, even though the song it sound like it, but I'm saying different words. But I can't pull up with YouTube like that. Because YouTube will grab hold to you about that music. So SoFi is having earnings first thing in the morning. A lot of folks are excited because SoFi is supposedly going to report their first profitable quarter of trading. Now, I think SoFi has a lot of potential. Don't know how quick it's going to do that, but I do like the fact that it's a fintech that's kind of, a market disruptor. They've taken a little time getting out the gate, and I believe that's because the regular banks or banks, the big boys don't want SoFi to really come on through. But once SoFi got their banking charter, it's like ain't no stopping us now. They just kept on the move. Yep. So if you own some SoFi in the low 4, 5s, and 6s, I had some SoFi from back when they were $15, and I held on to them. Then I dollar cost average and brought it down. Right, I think I've got some now that are like in the $7 and $8 range, which is about where we are. It might be 9, but anyway, it's closer to where we are now. It's closer than 15 because I had some that was at 15, and it was like, I believe in y'all, but I really want, when they was down at $5 and my 100 shares was worth 15, I was like, now this right here is not how this supposed to go. Okay, tomorrow morning we've got Franklin Templeton has earnings, Alliance Phillips, the bank of somebody here, Marie maybe, Provident Bank 7, never heard of them, Pacific Premier, and Ryan Air. Tomorrow after market closes, we've got Super Micro, Cliffs, Nucor, Whirlpool, F5, Celestica, CSWC, Graco, Calyx, and Crane. Tuesday morning, we got Pfizer, General Motors, UPS, JetBlue, MSCI, AC Smith, or is that AO Smith, Marathon, HCA Healthcare, Danaher, and Pulte Group. And then Tuesday, after market closes, there's AMD. I feel like AMD is on that list. It's on the list I made for the week. So I need to make sure. If it is, I need to update that list, but I'm pretty sure AMD is on that list. But this is getting ready to come in, some of the big boys. AMD is Tuesday after market, Microsoft, Tuesday after market close, Alphabet, which is Google. I know I need to take that one off. I know that's on there too. I need to update my list so I can make sure so we don't get caught up with any of these boys, these bad boys. Starbucks, Electronic Arts, Juniper Striker, Match Group, Skyworks, and CP. On Wednesday morning before open, we've got Boeing, we've got Novo Nordisk, MasterCard, Phillips 66, Roper, Thermo Fisher, UMC, NASDAQ, Teva, and Boston Scientific. Qualcomm is Wednesday aftermarket, Corteva, Align, Aflac, Wolfspeed, MetLife, Century, Meritage. You think it says Meritage Homes. Yep. Thursday, we've got Altria, Royal Caribbean, Peloton. I thought Peloton was going to be gone by now. Dorian, Merck, Sirius XM, Honeywell, Oaktree, and Tractor Supply. Thursday is Amazon, another one I have on our list that I need to update. Thursday's going to be hot. Yes. Amazon, Apple, Meta. Woo, that's going to be Thursday. Atlassian, Microchip, Skechers, OpenText, and Deckers. And then Friday morning, we got ExxonMobil, Chevron, AbbVie. I used to trade AbbVie every day. I used to trade them at the open every day. Cigna, Charter, Regeneron, Granger, and AON. I think this is Arm & Hammer. Looks like the Arm & Hammer. Looks like the Arm & Hammer thing, but it says CH something. CHD. Huh. Okay. Says this is not the week to trade SOXL or XLK. So let me move XLK off. I don't think SOXL is on our list, but we'll see. But we definitely will make sure that we are careful about our trades, careful about the things that we put on the list. I'll make sure I update the lists with the things that when we're going to talk about the list here in a minute. So this week, as far as our meetings and such go, Monday, we just got the loan officer survey, which is a yellow folder, not much happening there. Tuesday, though, we've got S&P, CS Composite, HPI year over year, HPI month over month, consumer confidence, and JOLTS job openings. Those are two red folders at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we've got several red folders. Non-farm employment change, unemployment cost index, Chicago PMI is orange. Crude oil inventory should also be orange. Federal funds rate, FOMC statement. Ooh, FOMC. Y'all know what that means. That means Rome is coming to the stage. Coming to the stage. Okay, that'll be Wednesday at 2 o'clock. FOMC press conference is at 2:30. This is probably the biggest volatility piece. It needs to be like a double red or something. And then Thursday, we have OPEC, JMMC meetings, Challenger job cuts, year over year unemployment claims, preliminary non-farm productivity. Seems like that has gotten stuck. Or maybe I should be rotating it here. There we go. Rotating in the wrong place. That was Thursday. ISM PMI, construction spending, wards, total vehicle sales. A lot's happening on Thursday too. Wednesday and Thursday got a lot of pieces. And then Friday, look at all those reds. They're 8:30, but we've got non-farm employment, unemployment rate, revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Right. That's what's coming for this week. That's what's coming. We talked about earnings. We talked about the chart. We've also looked at we looked at SPX on the chart. So we can see what is SPX on the chart talking about. And it looks like there might be a little bit of a reversal. A bit of a reversal. Okay, so let's look at our chart that we have for the week as far as our suggestions for possible suggestions. Hey, Janae, possible suggestions. Okay, we got some cash secure puts. Clean Spark, Mara. It's weird to me that Mara has come out of their support area and Riot is still hanging out down there like they left something. It's time to go, Riot. Somebody tell Riot it's time to go. Mara leaving. Clean Spark leaving. Bitcoin leaving. It's time for you to get up and go too, right? You know how you at somebody's house and they're ready for people to go, and a few people stand up to leave, and then a few people just keep sitting there. What you waiting on? They leaving. You don't want to be rude to people, but my mama would always do. When she was ready to go, she'd be ready to get off the phone or ready to go. She would say, "Well, all right then." That was your cue. My mama would say, "Well, all right then." That was your notification that this conversation is wrapping up. Wrap it up. We done. I'm done here. Well, all right then. That's how you tell people it's time to go without saying, y'all ready to go? Or you ask people, what y'all doing after this? What y'all doing after this? And where we were just staying here talking to you. No, what y'all doing after this? Because this right here is over. Okay, so call credit spreads. We've got Palantir, Bank of America, we got Cisco, XLI, Walmart, AI, UAL, United. That was a University Airline, United Airlines, XLE, Amazon, which we just said Amazon has earnings. So we're going to scratch Amazon off this list, and we're going to scratch XLK, I believe Jamie just said. We'll take both of these off because we don't want anybody to get caught up in earnings. Earnings is like a binary event, and we don't want anybody standing in front of a train that they didn't know was coming. Now, if you decided that you think you got the right direction, you really strongly believe Amazon's going to go down, then ride with it. But if you are just going to be guessing, let's just take it off and trade it after the earnings call, after the earnings is reported, okay? Put credit spreads. We also have Bank of America for a put credit spread. It seems to be kind of in the middle. We got Micron. Google needs to come off this list. Yeah, Google needs to come off. Walmart got to put credit spread. We can make that into an iron condor. Snap, XLB, Coin, Amazon. We take this off again, like I said, and XLY. I'll make sure I update the graphic. And if you follow me in any of our social media places, Facebook or YouTube, I'm actually going to start posting a little more often on YouTube. But if you are in any of my Telegram groups, which if you're not, you should go ahead and get into the, let me see if I can get the link to the Telegram group. The big one that I use. Let's see if I can grab the link from here. It doesn't look like I can. Jamie, if you can get the Telegram group, I'm not sure how close you are to your computer. If you can get the Telegram link for the Educator2Trader, will you put that in the chat? So, yep, I'll make sure I update that. But if you're in any of my chats, I generally put all the things in all the things that are pertinent. I put them in all the places so people can make sure that they get them. Okay, but those are ideas for us for this week. So let's see, what do we see on here that we have that we're interested in? What stocks on here do we have an interest in? AI was all the rave for a long time, and it hadn't been mentioned in a long time. Then it showed up on bar chart today. Showed up on bar chart. If you have wanted something on this list you're interested in us looking at, please put it into the comments. Which you're probably putting something in there now. It takes there's a little bit of a lag between what you all do and when I see the comments. It has to basically go through StreamYard and then come back out so I can see it. Let me see if I can go the other way. If I can go straight to YouTube and see. Anything on here we want to take a look at? We can look at BAC because that's at least an iron condor. Intel, yeah, Intel has to be left on the shelf for a minute because it's in a weird spot. I'll show you. Intel is in a weird place, and so where it's located in the on the chart, there's no clear move yet. So this is Intel we're looking at. I'm on the daily chart. Notice how, let me make it a little bit bigger for you if I can. See, Intel had a big old gap down for earnings. So that's the first thing we've got to keep in mind. Had a big old gap down for earnings. I'm going to take this one off because I like to start with a fresh enough chart. So it is now at, come on, it is at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, but, you know, it can ride that for a little minute. Let's see if I can get if I see some support here. It actually is in a support area. If we look back to November, it's actually in a support zone. Come on. There we go. If we look back to November, okay, let's change this to a line. Thank you. If we're like where we currently are, if we look back here in this November 22nd, 24th time frame, then that's where it hit right at on Friday, this support area from here. We wanted to, it didn't come, basically the price just kind of hung out here for several days. It didn't run up out of here too strong. And then when it came back to this spot again, it went on through. So this support area may not be strong, but that's where it happens to be at this point at the 43.59. But there's support at 41.52. So if you were, you know, interested in doing a put credit spread, I'd go below this 41. You're interested in that? Let's see what kind of premiums we see at 41. 41 is a 88% probability out of the money, so we probably could go up to as 42 because that's a 77% probability out of the money. But if we look at what the premiums, and look at the market is closed, so these numbers are not hard and fast. But at 42, if a 50-cent spread, it's paying about $7, which, you know, that's more than 10%, but you're going to pay $1 in fees on the front side, $1 on the back. You might as well either widen the spread and make it 41, 42, or that's going to pay $14. That's better. 41, 42 pays $14. So that'd probably be the best thing to, if you don't feel like getting, if you don't want to get any closer. That wasn't what I meant to push. If you don't want to get any closer, yeah, I wouldn't jump on. I see some possible potential. I feel like INTC is going to come on out the box, but now that Tesla's doing some other stuff with using NVIDIA chips and whatever, Intel still has to fight against all its competitors and such. Let's look at AI. I haven't charted AI in eons. So let's look here. I'm looking on the daily chart. We've got some support down here at the 24 range. This has come in. Basically, this gap from 115 to 116 got filled. 112, sorry, to 116 got filled by this price action here. We're underneath the 20-period moving average, may have a little more downwards ride. So if we're looking for a call credit spread, anything under 27 could potentially see we've been on a downward ride. If you look here at the trend, what has been the trend of AI? This has been our most recent trend. Going down. So let's see if we looked at call credit spread, 75% probability out of the money is at 26.5, which that's about right because we got a plus or minus 1.6 over here. So 26.5 could be your call credit spread. 26.5, 27 is paying $9. You could always adjust this. You can adjust this to 10 or 11 or whatever it is you think you want it to be. You could always adjust that and then let it work. Let it go into working until it either feels with what you're looking for or it doesn't. And, I don't get married to any of these trades. All right. Never get married to a trade. You want to get what you want to get out of it. At this point, we're getting what we can get out of the market. These are not, we're not, none of these stocks are like, marriage material. No. We just dating them. And if they don't act right, we'll go date another. Okay. We don't, these are, some people look at them like stocks are like employees. That's, I can go with that too, where you're like, I'm going to employ you to do what I want you to do. And when you don't do what I want you to do anymore, I'll find a new employee. This is what we do with our stocks. We don't get married up. We don't marry up to these stocks. We use them for what they're going to give us. And when they don't provide what we want, we just say, I'll find somebody who will. So if we were looking at the 26.5 on the call credit spread side, and then because the chart showed that it's really got some downward trend going, but there is pretty good support at 24. Pretty good support at 24. So let's see if we look on the 24 side. Yep, 24 or 23.5 if you want to go just one step down. 23.5. That's going to pay another $8. So if you got $9 on one side and $8 on the other side, that's a total of $17 for a 50-cent spread. Okay, 50-cent spread means you're going to leverage $50. But if you receive 17, then you're only leveraging 33. Right? That's one thing that I like 50-cent spreads is because they don't require as much capital. You could always do, several different ones if you're interested in that, kind of mix and match, right? Put 50 cents, $50 here, $50 here, $50 here. But listen, our small account challenge is coming up. Our small account challenge is coming up. And this is the kind of stuff we're using. We're using 50-cent spreads, 1 spreads, and 2.5s. If you're a 2.5 spread person, I think some of Amazon, as it goes higher, after it passes 150, it's a 2.5 spread. 2.5, Meta 2.5. I think AMD is also 2.5 at this point. But you pull in your 10% returns. You got a $250 of collateral that you're leveraging, and you pull in $40, $50. That's a 20% return on your monties. We can do it. But listen, that small account challenge is starting on February the 5th. If you haven't signed it up yet, you need to go ahead and get signed up. Okay, we're going to be learning credit spreads and how do we use them for consistent income. How do we use them? I just showed y'all 2 slides ago how 19 out of 20 of these trades was profitable. Okay, if you did all of these trades, you really probably would have put in about 1,500. Nobody's picking all of them. But if you did pick all of these, you just no more than $1,500. Here, it's probably less than that. Those 2 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and some change. You might be right at 1,500, 2,000 if you did them all. But some of these were iron condors. So you only going to leverage the capital one time. I'm not counting the cash secure puts because those can be a little more expensive because you have to put the whole amount of the strike times 100. So the CLSK times 6 was a $600 of collateral. That's why we do call credit spreads and put credit spreads. You don't have to put as much collateral on it. Don't have to put as much collateral. But all of that is being taught in the small account challenge. You can start with as little as $100 and we'll help you make it do what it do. Janae said, I appreciate that. We'll watch a bit more. It's holding SOXL back. I felt like that about AMD, but I'm jealous. I let it go. Yeah, you know what? We can get attached, especially if a stock has paid really well. If it's been one that now, I believe if you find one that will do what you want it to do, good employees, you keep those. So if you find a stock that returns for you like you want it to, you can keep using that employee. Yes, but when they don't give you what you want, you have to say, you know what? You're no longer of use to me. You're no longer of use, and then you have to let it go. Think you gotta let it go. Yeah, you have to let it go. Looks like another love, TKO. You gotta just let it go. Okay, let's look at coin. I think coin was requested on our list. Coin has been on the downward ride with all the other Bitcoin stocks, but it appears to have hit some support. It appears to have hit some support. And again, as I always say, none of the stuff I talk about is investment advice. I'm talking, you all are listening. We're enjoying our Sunday afternoon together. We go together. That's how this goes. So this is not investment advice. Everybody has to make their own decisions. You are the CEO of your own portfolio. Okay? You are the CEO. But it's been coin has been in this zone for looks like about 6 days. It dropped into this zone 7 days ago, and it's been kind of hovering in there. If you wanted to see about some resistance, I probably would go right up to 134 if I was going to look at, sticking with the trend and going down with the trend. But now we do know that when they pick up, it might pick up and go, and you don't want to be caught in the pick up and go. There's the trend line, and it just hit that trend line. Trend lines can be support and resistance, so it could boop and go on back down. But we got support right here at the line. So this is what a decreasing wedge. Decreasing wedge, it may bust out of that going upwards. All right, let's go look and see what kind of numbers we're talking about. Kind of numbers. If you're going on the upside, see how far we're away from probability out of the money? 133, because they've got a plus or minus 9.4. So 133 is actually about 8. Going up about 8 or 9, that would be good. Let's see if we switched over to like 134. At this point, neither one of these look like. Oh, there we go. 134, 135 is paying $16. That's a 16% return. 16% return on your investment. Or if we were looking on the put credit spread side, can go down to about 118 at 73, or to 117 is 76% probability out of the money. 117, that one's paying another $14. So if you believe you could be an iron condor, you could pull $30 out of it. But I'd want to be sure. I never suggest entering an iron condor all at one time. I say pick the side where the trend is going and enter with the trend first, right? So if it's going down, you want to do a call credit spread, enter with the trend. And then when it really seems like it really has hit some support, or you're at Thursday where you only got 1 day left to decide what's going on, then get on the other side. Wednesday or Thursday is a good time to get on the opposite side if you're doing an iron condor. The first one should go with the trend. The second one, you get on the opposite side after it's hit some support, or when you know you only got a little bit of time left. Right? HPE, Michael says coin could go lower. Agree with that. Coin had a downgrade on January 23rd to $80. It's in the one somethings. It downgraded to $80 from $125. What is HPE, Michael? Those downgrades, you have to be mindful of those. So HPE, Hewlett Packard. There we go. You bought some shares? Because I don't really trade the monthlies. If it don't have every week, I'm just not too many other things to choose from. I want to be able to trade my credit spreads each week. Does Hewlett Packard look like it's a good investment for $15? It looks like this gap got closed up almost. It's got a lot of jumping around up in here, but it also hit some resistance. Did you see that, Michael? Looks like it hit some resistance around $15.93, $16. About $16. Coin AI. Do we have any others to look at? Let me go pick one of the XLs. Let's go pick a XL. Let me see which one I'm interested in. XLE is energy, right? XLI has done some stuff. XLB seems to be holding steady as well. Let's go look at XLI. XLI. Industrial. Bollinger Bands coming in a little closer. Means volatility has diminished. It's approaching some resistance, the top of the band, as well as some resistance from December 27th. It hit that actually and turned back. So if I was going to look at this is one of those places where it's coming into resistance and it should do the turn. I don't see I have a pencil I can write with, but it should do nope. It should hit this and then come on back down. Should. Okay, because it's been going up and it could get to this resistance and say, bump it, I'm going on through. Let's go look. 114 is where that resistance is. 77% probability out of the money is at 115, and we've got a 2.8. So that's going to put us close. Really more like 116 or 115 and a half would be better. But let's see. At 115, 115 and a half, that's paying $15. $15 collected for a 50-cent spread. Sometimes when it's a little too good, I don't know. But you can also give it a minute to see what happens. How does it turn out of that resistance area? Does it stay out of it? Does it try to go and test it again? And you can change it also to 115, 116. And see, this XLI. I think I remember this too. The machine here gets all jacked when the option change. We are closed. The market is closed. So sometimes that causes a problem. 50-cent spread, $15 credit. Sometimes I'll go ahead and push confirm and send just to see what happens when it starts to work. What does it show as the value of it when it's working? Because that's going to be more accurate. It's going to be more accurate. Okay, Michael said yes, but the reason it dipped was because buying JNPR. That's why Hewlett Packard dipped, because they bought something. As long as you have that, you're following the Juniper networks. If you're following the following of the news and stuff of it, keeping up with the stock, then you can definitely make your moves. I don't know how Juniper, that $30 stock, that wasn't a bad move. Not really a bad, as far as it's a good, shares and it's a good price. It's a good price. What the Juniper chart looks like. Well, they did a big old jump. Did they jump because Hewlett Packard bought them? They don't do a whole lot of moving, doesn't seem, but they've just kind of, like, if you look back here, they stayed in this zone for a long time. See how little, y'all see the Bollinger Band? The Bollinger Band is like a river. A river runs through it, and then it got to where something happened here. This must have been the purchase, and all the volume kicked up because people must have started saying, "Oh, there's somebody wants me. Back then you didn't want me. Now you're all on me." So they said, "Oh, Hewlett Packard wants us," and everybody, and then it jumped up and people started buying. But not a lot of people started buying because they bought for 2 days and then they got otherwise interested and went on back to business as usual. So finicky. The market is so finicky. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't switch over. Let me go show y'all because I want y'all to be able to see what Juniper looks like. I'm sorry. I left it at the thing. This is what Juniper looks like. Bollinger Band, does it look like a river? And then Hewlett Packard bought them here, must have. I mean, I don't know. And then it popped up high volume on 2 days. And then people said, maybe we're not so interested. And then it came back down. But look at how wide the Bollinger Bands are now after this big jump here. After this big jump. Oh, goodness. The finicky markets. It's finicky, I say. It's finicky, I say. Anybody have another stock we want to look at before the morning? Even if it wasn't on my list, is there something else you're looking at trading that wasn't on my list? That was Juniper here. That was bought by Hewlett Packard. Where's my mouse? There he is. I don't know what is going on with my screen. Oh, there we go. Okay, let me make sure I've covered up all of our things we needed to cover. I think I have one more thing we were going to discuss. Let me make sure. Small account challenge got discussed. Yes. Yes. I want to remind you all one more time. We'll look, Michael. I want to remind you all again, we are going left in 2024. I don't get sick of seeing this because I know this needs to be a reminder. It needs to be a reminder because we are quick, just like the market, we can be finicky too. And we're quick to go off and start doing some other stuff, but leaning into a strategy is going to benefit you. 1 to 2 strategies, perfect those. Let's master what we're working on, right? Get some education that goes along with that, those 1 or 2 strategies. Focus on our fundamentals, which is our technical analysis, our charting. If you're using indicators, you will really lean in on those. And we're trading with a trading plan. Juniper is a competitor of Cisco and Palo Alto Networks. Okay, cool. And Hewlett Packard decided to buy them. Okay, let's go see what's SSYS, which is Stratasys Limited. Michael, you want to tell us some more about this one? $13 stock. Stratasys. Looks like it just came out of some support. 13 is currently at 1333. We're going to look at Iron Condor. They've actually been in the zone for a little. All this right here has been in the same zone. It skipped over this gap and then came right back into it, and all this price action has closed the gap. 13 and 14. And let's go see what we got for the trade and our plus minus number. Okay, this is a monthly trade. Do you trade it? Michael asked about, you trade it monthly or do you buy the shares? Looks like if you were trading it for this month coming up, you probably would go with, well, you got at 2.5, you can do, I would probably go down to the 10. 12.5 might work if you're comfortable with 68, depending on how, aggressive you are. And then up 15. This probability out of the money being so high makes me believe they don't think it's going up much more, but it may go down. So 15 and 12.5, would it be between those two? Could it be between 15 and 12.5? Well, 15 is paying $10. 2.5 spread paying $10. And 12.5 is paying $22. That would be a little more realistic. 2.5 spread, I want to get at least real close to 10%. And especially if I got to wait 2 weeks for the money because it doesn't expire until February 16th. Yes, you can close it early, but your expiration is not till the 16th. Michael said just learned about it from CNBC today or Friday. I never traded yet. Yeah, I don't really do too many monthlies. If the stock is just a monthly, I like to be able to trade it on a weekly basis. And that's my own issue. I don't like to have to watch the same things in my option chain working folder, whatever. I don't want to have to watch something for 2 or 3 weeks. Again, that's just my impatience and my own issues. Those are my own issues. But I very rarely trade a monthly. Very rarely. Okay. All righty. All righty. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit your notification bell. The E2T membership is 9:30 in the morning, 9:30 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday. We've been doing it on YouTube for this month. Hopefully you're joining me here on YouTube every morning at 9 or 9:30, depending on the time. And you're here with our morning calls where we kind of talk about what's coming up today and what can we look to see. Sometimes we tie in what happened yesterday, who's having earnings, anything interesting. You may find you a trade idea. We talk about what's going on. And then we have weekly training calls on Wednesday every week. Last week, we talked about covered calls. The week before that, we talked about cash secure puts. This coming week, we're going to talk about trade or no trade, a game that we play. Nope, we're not doing that this week. We decided to do it next. We're doing a Q&A this week where the members of the membership can come with their questions and we'll answer the questions. It's Q&A this week. Q&A. And then we have a monthly coaching call. Usually the first Saturday of the month, I do coaching from some particular strategy. We lean in on something we're doing or we learn something new, but that goes with the needs of the group. All right. You can go to my website and become a part of the E2T membership and hang out with us all the time because we have a exclusive Telegram group where we are together. We trade together. We kind of communicate. Folks can get assistance. It's just I'm there. Not that they, I think that's a selling point that I'm there too, and I'm there to support. I'm there to support. All right. Is anybody watching the football game while I'm talking? Y'all watching the game? Who's watching the game? Is Kansas City still winning, or did the Ravens come back? Who's going for the Ravens and who's going for Kansas City? Put in the chat which ones you're going for. Of course, if you're not going for neither, you can just say neither. But Kansas City or Baltimore? Kansas City or the Ravens? My stepdaughter is in for the Ravens, and she's at a play where they go all the time, and she's a diehard Ravens fan. Karen said she in for Kansas City. Kansas City up 17-7. I knew they were going to have another touchdown because they were real close to getting one when I left out of the living room. Kansas City is up 17-7. Even though folks are saying that, if Kansas City wins again, it's feeling like it's kind of rigged. Like they've been there, the last 2 years? Tony T said the Ravens. Oh, my Ravens are losing. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Adrian says she for the Ravens. Well, I'm for the Ravens too because I'm supporting my stepdaughter. We're basically I jumped what's it called? I bandwagoned because my husband is a Cincinnati fan. So generally we go with Cincinnati. But once they got put out, then that was that. Kansas City's up. Going to watch the game afterwards. Yeah. And then the Lions. Actually, I know a guy who plays on the Lions. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is from my hometown. So he plays on the Lions. We'll be watching him after. Jamie said, I'm a Steelers fan, so a Ravens loss will warm my heart. Oh my goodness. Such a hater. Such a hater. You are. You're a hater. Okay. You all, I want to make sure I see you in the morning. If you got to do a little more research, I'm going to update our graphic so we can take off the things that have earnings, and I'll make sure to put it back into the chats where we are. Okay. I want you all to have a really good evening. Enjoy the rest of the football game. Get yourself ready, your mind, body, and soul ready for tomorrow morning for work. And then I'll see you in the morning about 9:30. I should be done teaching by then. All right. I'm going to bid you adieu. Goodbye, everyone. Y'all have a really good evening. All right. Bye-bye.